Hello everyone, this is Crypto BitLaw, here with another blockchain legal brief, and today we're going to discuss how fake Satoshi, also known as Craig Wright, recently sued major crypto exchanges Kraken and Coinbase. But before we dive in, please, if you like the content, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And with that said, let's jump right on in. Alright, so as we can see here, FinanceMagnets.com reports Craig Wright files billionaire lawsuit against Coinbase and Kraken. Wright said both crypto exchanges, quote, undermined his intellectual property rights. Kraken and Coinbase were sued for £500 billion. Craig Wright, an Australian cryptographer who claims to be Satoshi Nakamoto, the creator of Bitcoin, has sued Coinbase and Kraken for alleged copyright infringement. According to City AM, the entrepreneur claims that Coinbase and Payward, the operator behind Kraken, affected his intellectual property rights by using the term Bitcoin. Wright filed a multi-billionaire lawsuit asking for £500 billion in compensation. This lawsuit comes as the computer scientist asserts that BSV, a niche Bitcoin fork, this is another name for Bitcoin Satoshi's vision, is the only real Bitcoin, and that Kraken and Coinbase have misled investors by marketing their own cryptocurrencies under the Bitcoin name. In the high court case, speculation continues about the identity of Bitcoin developer Satoshi Nakamoto. Bitcoin claims were first made in 2015 when Wired magazine attributed Bitcoin's invention to Wright. It later slammed Wright as a brilliant hoaxer, a charge he categorically denies. Earlier this year, Wright filed a lawsuit against several high-profile figures in the cryptocurrency community as part of a legal campaign. Also, after Vitalik Buterin claimed Wright had lied about inventing Bitcoin in 2019, Wright sued and later dropped the lawsuit. No comments have been made officially by both Coinbase and Kraken as of press time about the lawsuit filed by Wright. Last year, London's High Court ruled in favor of Wright, ordering Cobra, the pseudo-anonymous creator of Bitcoin.org, to take down Bitcoin's white paper from the website. The court's decision was made in a default judgment, as Cobra decided not to appear in court to defend its side. Last month, Cobra tweeted that, quote, defending against nonsense is a waste of time. According to the court order, Bitcoin.org had to remove the white paper and display a court order notice for 6 months. In addition, Cobra was asked to pay £35,000 or $48,600 to Wright to cover his legal costs. Okay, so where does this leave us? I guess first and foremost, with the whole Cobra Bitcoin.org website litigation, I think it's worthwhile to consider that Wright didn't win that case based on the merits. As that article noted, he got a default judgment. So basically, whenever you sue someone in court, and it's the same in the English common law system as it is here in the system in the United States, if you file a complaint against a defendant and the defendant is properly served with notice of that complaint, then they have a set time period with which to respond or, quote, answer the complaint. And if they don't, then you can file for what's known as a default judgment. And I know here in our jurisdiction, not only do you have to do that, then you actually have to confirm it, and then the court awards you a default judgment where you pretty much win by default because the other party, they got notice and they didn't show up. And so that's what happened here in that Cobra case, and I think it's really funny that the Bitcoin.org team's response to the lawsuit was that it's not worth it to defend ourselves against such nonsense, which, I mean, I agree. I mean, this guy, he's a grifter. Don't sue me, Craig Wright, but I think it's pretty widely understood by, almost everyone in the community that this guy is a straight up grifter. I know Richard Hart's called him out, Vitalik's called him out. If you haven't seen the Richard Hart video, it's actually pretty funny. Definitely worth a watch. He calls out Craig Wright to his face, and then he's just kind of like, I don't know, I don't really have any answers. But, to that effect, it's one of those things where, if he actually had access to the Satoshi Nakamoto wallet, you know, he could do something very easy just to prove ownership, you know, move 1 Bitcoin out of that wallet if you control it, if you really are Satoshi Nakamoto. He could do any number of things to prove he's Satoshi Nakamoto, but hasn't done it, right? You know, I think it's, you know, I wouldn't say a general consensus, but I think a lot of people believe that the real Satoshi is probably dead, you know, and hence, I mean, those funds, the million plus Bitcoin in Satoshi's original wallet haven't moved. So, you know, there's the issue. This guy, if he really was Satoshi, he could dispel with all of the fiction and put all the rumors to rest by just doing one action on the blockchain. Still refuses to do that. And I know there was recently another case. It was it actually went to trial where one of Craig Wright's business partners, there was a lawsuit regarding certain funds. The thing ended up turning into a mess, and it ultimately was not proven that Craig Wright is Satoshi. There was just a dispute over funds that were Craig Wright claimed, you know, they were his funds, and then the business partner's estate claimed that they were his funds, and it turned into this, you know, really convoluted legal issue about, okay, whose funds were these really? And it didn't address the core of the issue of whether or not fake Satoshi, Craig Wright, is really Satoshi. And, you know, even during that court case, it's the same sort of thing. You know, he could dispel with all the fiction just by coming out and claiming, hey, you know, I've got access to this wallet, the Satoshi wallet, and I could move 1 Bitcoin or sign 1 transaction, and that would be that. He can't do that. But it touches on this other issue that this is this guy's MO. You know, we know he created Bitcoin SV, you know, Bitcoin Satoshi's vision, as it's commonly known. And in my mind, that's just a grift kind of scam project, in my personal opinion, which I'm certainly entitled to. I mean, why would anyone ever hold that when they could hold real Bitcoin? You know, it just makes no sense to me. I think he's just kind of grifting on, playing upon noobs that don't really know any better, you know, with things like Bitcoin Cash and Bitcoin SV. And so here, this guy's up to the same old tricks. You know, anybody who either casts doubt on the fact that he claims he's the real Satoshi, or doesn't fall in line with the way that he wants people to think with respect to his Bitcoin SV project, and so on and so forth, he files lawsuits because I guess he has the financial ability to do that, and just pretty much hopes and banks that people will succumb to the litigation and not want to get drawn out through this long, played out process where you have to defend yourself and go through all this costly litigation in order to actually stave off this lawsuit. So, you know, just for anybody that really wasn't aware, this guy, yeah, he's widely considered within, you know, the crypto circle as, you know, the fake Satoshi. You know, he's up to his same old shenanigans. And so I guess he keeps filing these BS lawsuits. We're going to keep reporting on him. But that is, I guess, what it is, so they say. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this content. If you did, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. And with that said, thanks again for watching. And we'll see you all in the next video.